Hi, it's Rez here from Infinita Solutions. One thing that employees look forward to during their hectic work schedule is taking a break. A good time off helps to rejuvenate your mind and reduce work-related stress and burnout. Having a proper time off management system is not only important for employees to achieve a good work-life balance, but also for the employers to plan work ahead during which employees will be on leave. It ensures that productivity of the organization is not affected adversely. Today we will discuss about odoo's time off management system, which keeps track of all leaves taken by the employees and enables the management to schedule work properly and thus avoid any unplanned cost. It makes the process of both applying for leave and its addressal easier and quicker, which goes a long way in ensuring that morale of employees is kept high at the workplace. Now we'll see its functionality in our database. For that we have to go to the time off. On the dashboard, the user can see all his time off types and the pending days as well as the days which he has taken the leave. Before discussing about time off creation and its approval, we will see time off types. Time off type is nothing but leave types for which an employee can apply for at the organization. For that, go to configuration and select time off types. Here we can see different time off types that have been created, along with its details like mode, leave validation, allocation validation, and from and to date, that is validity, as well as company. To create new time off type, we have to click on the create button. Here we will discuss a time off type that has already been created. Here we can see name of the time off type, under which we have different options. If you want to create payroll code, we can generate it over here. Under that we can see take time off in. According to our business and time off type, we can decide whether to provide time off in day, half day, or according to hours. Under that we can see allocation request mode. Here we can decide whether to allow employees to request for the allocation request or it has to be set by the time off officer themselves. After selecting properly, we can also add responsible. It is the person who will be responsible for this particular time off type. Here we can see validity. Even though it is not a compulsory field, it can be used in time off types where we have to assign the validity of particular leave type. For example, in case of annual time off 2021, we have kept the validity from 1st Jan 2021 to 31st December 2021, under which we can see time off request approvals. Approvals is also decided by according to the time off type. If some time off type in which there is no payment, like it is an unpaid leave, we can keep it as no validation. In some other cases, we have to keep it as by time off officer, or in some another cases, we have to keep it by employee's approval. Or in case like this of annual time off, where we want two levels of approvals, we can select the last option, that is by employee's approval as well as time off officer. Time off officer is usually the HR, while the employee's approver is the manager. After confirming that everything has been added properly, we can click on save button. We are also having option of work entries. By popping it out, we can change the color and also code, sequence, and display in payslip, rounding, etc. from here itself. And after confirming that everything is correct, we can save it by clicking on the save button. After creating time off type, we will now see the allocations. For allocation, we have to go to managers and select allocations. There we can see different allocation requests of the people for whom this particular user is responsible for. For creating new allocation, we have to click on the create button, where we are having different modes like by employee, by company, by department, and by employee tag, applying which the allocation will be applied for the particular persons. So after selecting the mode as by employee and selecting the employee, we can select the time off type. After selecting time off type, we can select whether allocation type is of regular allocation or accrual, and then add the duration. After adding duration and confirming that everything has been added properly, we can save it by clicking on the save button. As I'm administrator, I have more rights of approval. So I can approve it from here itself by clicking on the approve button and validate it, as the time of type of annual leave requires 2 levels of approvals. Here we can see the state has changed to approved. Now we will see how to create a time of request. For that we will go back to dashboard. We can create a new time of request from the dashboard itself by clicking on new time of, or directly by clicking on the date. We can also create time of request for ourselves as well as for employees under the manager by going to the managers and selecting time off, and then click on the create button, where we have to first select the time of type, and then we can select the from date and to date. We have selected it as Friday till Sunday or Monday. Here we can observe that even though we have applied for 4 days leave, it has shown the duration as 2. It is because that our weekly time off has been reduced from the total date. Now we can save it by clicking on the save button. As I am the time off officer for annual leave, I can approve it and validate it from here itself. After clicking on approve, we can validate it by clicking on the validate button. Here we can see state has changed to the approved. It will be also reflected in our dashboard. Here we can see all leaves according to month, week, day, as well as year. Here we can see our leave period. As a manager, we are also responsible for approving leaves of all employees under ourselves. So we have to go to the managers and select on time off. There we can see all pending requests. We can open it. Here we can see leaves of other employees on particular day or month of the same department. After considering all leave requests that has been approved in the same month, we can approve it or refuse it. For approval, we have to click on the approve button. We can see the state will change from to approved to approved. As we are able to see all employees who have taken leave in the department here itself, it is very easier for managers to know number of employees that will on the leave on particular date. Now we are also having different views for managers to see the time off. We are also having a menu called everyone, under which we can see time off taken by different members. It is a Gantt view, and we are also having calendar view. We are also having reporting, under which we can see reporting by employee as well as by type. In the employee, we are also having different views like graph view as well as pivot view. In the pivot view, we can download the Excel sheet by clicking on the download button. We are also having a calendar view, which is very useful for all the managers to approve the request, as they can see the overview of all the leave requests that has been approved, and by considering number of employees is on leave on that particular day, he can decide whether to approve or refuse the leave request. Now we'll go back to our dashboard. As you saw, time off is very useful for both the employees as well as the employer. For employee, he can easily apply for the time off and see all his remaining leaves as well as the status of the request. And for the employers, it is very easy to have the overview of all time off that has been approved and thus decide whether to approve new time off or not, which helps him to keep the continuity of production as well as quality of the output remains the same at the organization. If you have any queries regarding this video or is looking for any ERP implementation partner, please contact us on www.infinter.com. Thank you.